Hello again, this is Joanna from Joanna the Medium, and these are going to be messages for May 2016. First and foremost, I wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in and for watching, subscribing, and sharing. Thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate them, and I want to make sure that every month I say how appreciative I am of you watching these, because without you, at the end of the day, you know, there's no point for me doing this. My May readings are a little bit late. My apologies. I have been trying to find the time to make them happen and to produce them, and it's just been a crazy April. And speaking of April, April has been a very transformative month. I do believe I mentioned this in April readings, but my understanding is that May is supposed to be a lot more peaceful, with a lot more pieces of the puzzle coming together, allowing you to feel much more at peace than you have been in the last 3 or 4 months. So I guess since the beginning of the new year. Please keep in mind, these are general readings. If you would like a private reading pertaining especially to you, or if you want to connect with a loved one, you can reach me at info@joannathemedium.com, and we can schedule an appointment via Skype, phone, or FaceTime, or if you're in town, in person. If these don't make sense to you, if your sun sign doesn't make sense to you, please look at your other signs, your rising sun and your moon sign, as I'm finding through your comments that some months, some of these make more sense to you than other times. So it'll help to create a much clearer picture of what's happening with you. Without further ado, let's proceed with May 2016, and I will see you shortly. And again, thank you so much for tuning in again. See you in a moment. Hello everyone, welcome back. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Gemini for May 2016. I shuffled the cards are laid down. They are face down, so I don't know what they are. And as before, I'm going to ask Spirit for any initial message before we flip the cards over. So let me just connect. Potential is in the future. Potential to be whatever you want to be and accomplish. It is the fears of your inner being that are preventing you from reaching those goals. Do not forget who you are, for you are an embodiment of spirit. Spirit is capable of anything, and anything is in fact possible. It is only your human mind that is preventing you from seeing beyond this illusion. And with that, we leave you for now. Okay, that was interesting. Let's see what the cards say. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of sorts because I am almost in a bit of a trance right now, as I was meditating a moment ago. So let's see what the cards say, and I always hope that the cards corroborate the message that I just passed on to you, as it makes it that much more special. And sorry for the occasional bells. That's my phone going off, and I don't know how to prevent it from not ringing on my computer while I'm recording. Okay, so let's start with the first card. This is the card that represents your present. Ooh, okay, so right off the bat, this is a card that is representative of your passions, your spirit, your drive. This is the spiritual aspect of who you are. Some of you have asked me to hold this card a little bit longer, and I apologize for the glare here. There it is. I will hold the card longer for those of you who asked me for it. This card is called The Waiting Game. It is a number 2. 2 to me represents, in this particular situation, choices and decisions. However, this card is shown to me in reverse. So let me just ask for clarity on this. And he's saying to me the waiting game is over. I'm just going to close my email. My apologies. The waiting game is over with respect to your prosperity. And I'm being reminded that prosperity doesn't necessarily equate to money. Prosperity equates to or is also health, healthy relationships, abundance on all levels, not just practical things and not just financial things. But when I'm being told that the wait is over, it is over in every aspect of your life. And he's showing me potential money, relationships, as well as health. And I'm being shown a new home or a desire for a new home being in a stage of manifestation. So whether it's a home that you want to move into or just a new place you want to move into, it is being on the side as in a process of being manifested. It's in the background, and I don't think you know about this yet. So that's what the first card represents, and I think that's a great start, because if May is supposed to be peaceful, this is certainly congruent with having more peace. Okay, now the next card represents past influences and what is still influencing your situation. This is going to be one of those powerful readings, which most of them are actually this month. This is a major arcana card. This card says balance. It is number 11. I am not going to reduce the number 11 to the number 2 because he's asking me not to. And he's talking about this balance of higher purpose. This is a balance within yourself. And as you see, this particular gentleman, he has wings. So I'm going to assume this is an angelic being. He has the spirit around him, indicative of the orb. He has the sword. He has chalice. He has money. He has the wand. So he has everything he can possibly have in order to get whatever he is after. And that represents a perfect balance. But this is a balance within yourself. This is balance on a physical level, emotional level, mental level, and certainly spiritual level. And the reason why the waiting game is almost over, and I hear the words end of May, be prepared, end of May, is because you have been striving and working towards a finer inner balance. And he's saying to me, you have been working on this for years. He's also saying to me that you haven't necessarily been conscious of it before. It is just fairly recently that you are starting to realize that the things are getting rid of, or the things that life is taking away from you, is actually bringing more balance into your life and into your inner being. And he says the more balance you have, the more balance you will achieve. And from a space or place of perfect balance, anything is possible. That's a beautiful message. Now, the next card represents, sorry, I'm having a difficult time speaking. For one, something in is retrograde. I know that because my camera has been wonky throughout these entire readings. But number 2, the presence of spirit is very strong right now. So I'm feeling a little bit off my kilter, okay? But it feels great. This is a card that represents your future. The card is called the base chakra. For those of you who are not familiar with chakra centers, this is the very first chakra, and it is at the bottom of your spine. It is representative of your safety, or you feeling safe in the world, or if it's unbalanced, unsafe. Okay, this first chakra develops at the very early stage of our life, and I'm hearing from newborn, and I want to say 2, so I don't know if it's 2 months or 2 years. I actually don't know. For those of you who do, please chime in. I would love to know. But the card was shown to me in reverse. And what he's saying to me, just because it's being shown to me in reverse, does not necessarily mean in this particular instance that you are going to feel uprooted. If anything, your you have been uprooted, or you have felt uprooted for a very long time, and this chakra is going to feel more whole, meaning the balance you have been working towards and the balance you are achieving within yourself is going to allow you to feel greater peace of mind, which is going to add to you feeling safer in this world. And when I say the word safer in this world, I'm feeling what's the word, please? Your foundation upon which you rest. Your belief systems, your fears, your worries, that foundation is going to strengthen. And it is going to allow you to feel more grounded, more secure, more familiar. Why familiar? Familiar because for the most part, you have felt unfamiliar with regards to your environment. And I don't know what that means to me, but I'm going to leave that to you to interpret. And he says, for those of you who this is meant for, you will instantly get it. Okay? But I want to ask more. Okay, so he's saying to me, movement, constant movement, fluctuations, ups and downs, chaos. And the unfamiliarity or not feeling familiar in the past is constant movement of your surroundings, and not in a necessarily positive way, or not in a way that's making you feel grounded and secure. And that is what's going to change. That's fantastic. The next card is the reason behind all of this, or what has been preventing you from gaining greater balance, which is this. And from attaining financial abundance, he says. So for those of you who this is message is for, I am going to assume, and he says to me, don't assume, it's what it is. So I'm going to assume that we're talking about finances a lot, an abundance of financial nature, but it can absolutely represent health, because that's the other thing I am being shown. Incidentally, I am being shown somebody who has problems with knees, and he's saying to me that is representative of you feeling weak in the knees, meaning this is a metaphor. It's a metaphor, yes, but it's also a manifestation of you feeling weak in the knees, meaning difficulty in standing straight and standing firm. So I'm getting this. So you come from an environment, or you are used to not feeling safe, and therefore maybe not feeling like you can stand firmly, which is perfectly understandable, makes perfect sense. So the reason behind all of this, or what has prevented you in the past to not being able to attain this, is the card that's called light. Now, the card in itself is a beautiful card. And again, this is a major arcana card representative of inner workings or things happening within you. But the card was shown to me in reverse, or is shown to me in reverse. And it is indicating that for most of your life, you had doubts. These doubts did not help you see the light. And though I don't necessarily feel that you are a negative person, your circumstances through which you have come from, and the circumstances that have been with you, constantly made you fall down. And the fall down is in parentheses, or in quotation marks. And I actually see a person going down on their knees and feeling like, again, I have fallen down. So it feels like you've had a lot of experiences just piling up on top of the other. And these experiences were not necessarily of a positive nature. And he says to me, trying/hard times. You've had your share of hard times. I also feel whoever this message is for, you are either estranged from your family, or you feel your familial relationships. I love how he's talking to me today. Your familial relationships, not something I would use anyway, have do not provide emotional support to you. If anything, you are used to them kind of poking you and maybe even undermining you. So this is a message for selected group of people who will resonate with this reading right away, and that is the message you are going to receive today. Instantly, he's showing me a butterfly. When I ask him why butterfly, he's saying to me, please watch for butterflies. Every time you see a butterfly, please remember you are equally as important and equally as capable and, what's the word, please? Worthy of freedom. And he's asking you to remember this every time you see a butterfly. That is beautiful. Okay? Let's move on to the next card. This is a card that represents potential. So potential of what will happen when you gain greater balance, when things move your way, when you finally start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. The card is called Trapped in Fear, but it's in reverse. And this is a card that represents your thoughts, your fears, anything that's between your ears. Emotionally, yes, but it is predominantly about your thinking and your fears, your inner fears. When you do all this work, you are going to feel the opposite of this. Hence, that's why it's in reverse. You are no longer going to feel like you are locked in a mental prison where fear is something you feel predominantly most of the time. Now, this is very interesting because I do see, whoever this is for, that you are not a negative person, at least not on the outside, that you are someone who people look up to even on some level, and they come to you for guidance and for words of wisdom. But perhaps this is talking about the inner you that people do not know about. And he's actually saying to me, and that's why the trapped in fear, it's an inner prison. It's not something someone else can see. But there is, for whatever reason and however you've done it, you have been able to retain some level of innocence and some level of positivity. And even though it's just a little, you're still able to draw upon this. Incidentally, he's showing me he's saying to me the word grandfather, and I'm feeling a very strong gentleman. I do feel this is a person that has passed. So for those of you, this represents a grandfather, and he's saying to me, your grandfather would be very proud of you. And this gentleman, who is apparently your grandfather, is very, very strong. So whoever you are, if you have a grandfather that you feel would be very proud of you, and I think you will know who it is that I'm talking about. And I'm not seeing whether it's mother's side or father's side. Actually, he's saying to me both. So it will depend on who it is for you. But there is a grandfather figure looking out for you, and he is very proud of you. And he's asking you to stay strong, be the strong person that you are. Never mind the naysayers, never mind their negativity, never mind their poking you. Stay away from that, stay clear of that. It is just their talk because of their own stuff. I also see letter J. So perhaps you are someone who has a letter J in their first or last name, or your grandfather had a letter J in their first or last name. It doesn't have to be the first letter. It can be somewhere in the middle, and I'm also getting the letter O. So O like orange, okay? Let me just see if there's anything else. He says, though he would ask normally for you to be patient. He's saying to me, you have been patient enough. And your fruit of the hard labor that you have worked so hard for is about to pay off. And he's saying to me, it is going to come first as a feeling. And you might even feel like something has shifted and something is different. You might wake up one day and all of a sudden you just feel more expanded, and you can't quite put a finger on why or how. It doesn't matter. It is happening nonetheless. And then he says, I hope you enjoy. It is yours to keep. And don't ever forget who you are. You are a human being. You are a spirit in a human being body, capable of virtually anything you put your mind to. It is only our perceptions that keep us stuck and locked in the prison of, I can't. And then I'm having a conversation with him and I'm saying, well, we can't fly, and he says, well, of course you can't, because you're in a three-dimensional world, and the pull, what's the word, please? See, I'm not a scientific person. Your body's not meant to fly, but mentally, you can allow yourself to fly. So it's a play on words. He says, don't complicate things. They understand what you mean. I hope this made sense to you. Very powerful reading. I would love to hear your comments. Let me know if it does make sense to you. I wish you a wonderful month of May, and I look forward to seeing you again in June. Until then, best of luck and see you soon. Bye-bye.